Wanted to give you guys a bit of an update on how my own workouts are progressing. This is my leg raise push-up routine that I've been using for quite a while. Haven't really seen much of a need to change or modify it at all. So here are the logistics. First off, getting started off with a bit of a warm-up, just lying leg raises, keeping my hips up off the floor. Got a lot more control in my hips and my abs than we're on to set number one. We're just doing simple hanging leg raises, but I'm focusing on a couple of new things here. Number one is definitely my legs are straighter, and I'm also trying to get a little bit more of a pause at the top of each leg raise. The other thing I'm working on is trying to get a little more flexion in the hip joint itself. The abs are responsible for flexing the lumbar spine and picking up the pelvis, and that's certainly part of what I'm doing. But it's also the hip joint is also what you're working here, and I'm trying to open up the back of my hip joint and flexing forward as well. Setting up, I always make sure that I have a lot of tension in my arms and in my back and in my shoulders. I get a lot of questions, people asking me like, what about toes to bar and things like that? And unless you have a lot of flexibility, you're going to have some movement in your back and your shoulder joint in order to make that happen, which is fine, but I find I get a lot more of just a contraction along my anterior chain, or my flexion chain as I call it, when your back is locked into place as much as possible. I'm also really trying to focus on breathing a little bit more here. That's always been a bit of an Achilles heel for me, is holding my breath, especially as I'm getting tired. And you'll notice, of course, as I'm getting tired, my range of motion starts going down, my technique starts to fall apart, that technical erosion. So I'm also trying to make sure that my breathing is a little bit more smooth and consistent. Not necessarily exhaling on the way up, inhaling on the way down. It's just breathing in general. And just, oh, what the hell. I feel like it today. We've got stretch outs here on the gymnastics rings, and not terribly narrow here, going a little bit wide, going for intensity on this exercise today. I'm going for as much intensity as I can kind of muster in a single rep, so I'm only going like 3, 4, maybe 5 repetitions. I don't want to be doing this stuff that's going to be taking a lot of time. Got a little bit of a feedback the other day that said that I was definitely on the right track. For the first time in my life, I'm up to a 33-inch waist, and not because of a gain in body fat, just because my abdominals are getting thicker. And this is partially why, is because I've incorporated this exercise and a lot more intensity into my abs, into my training. Now we're on to push-ups. Push-ups, starting off with close push-ups, keeping mindful of the tension in my back is one of the things I'm working on. The lower traps, definitely trying to keep enough tension in the chest, the triceps, and the shoulders, and the rest of the pushing chain. You can notice too, also my back is already starting to arch a little bit. I really should do the push-ups first in this chain, because you'll notice throughout this video my back starts to arch a little bit more. It's just because my core is shot, my abs are tired, and they're not keeping me in proper alignment. So that's definitely something that I can switch in the near future. So we've got dominated push-up, more weight on my left arm. My right arm is more of my assistance arm. I'm pulling my weight as much as I can over my left arm, using the muscles, particularly my back and my chest, to pull my torso over my working arm as much as I can. And at the same time, making sure that I've got a lot of tension in my tricep from both the top and the bottom of each repetition. The objective with my workouts is to basically treat my muscles kind of like a container of tension. It's not so much, I don't care about so much a weight or reps or routines or anything. I just look at it like I've got a bucket, I've got a container that is my muscle, and I just want to put a lot of tension in there for a good amount of time. That's pretty much my single mindset with regards to what I'm trying to accomplish in each workout, so that the time under tension can grow over time. So I'm not really thinking about anything fancy. I'm just concentrating on getting tension into the working, in this case my push chain muscles, as much as I can. My back's starting to arch a little bit more there. It's always very interesting to see yourself on video when you're doing things. This is why a lot of times people ask me questions over email, and I always, not always, but often refer back, and I say, take a video of you doing the push-up, doing the dips or whatever. See what you can see as far as your technique goes, because how an exercise feels versus how it actually looks on camera can be very different. And so you can oftentimes see what needs improvement on a video that you would never notice if you were doing it on yourself. And if you can't see anything, well, then send it to me or send it to a coach or something, someone who can bring some eyes to it, some fresh pair of eyes that can maybe see something that you may be missing. So basically, I'm just keeping basic 2 or 3 sets on each working arm. Again, working on the breathing. The push-ups in particular is where I really struggle with my breathing to be smooth and consistent. And then finish it off with a set of ring push-ups here. Just nice and even distribution of tension throughout both arms, triceps, shoulders, chest, keeping tension in the back, focusing a little bit more on my hips and my abs because it's a little bit easier to do it with an easier exercise. Big range of motion, pulling the rings in, but I'm not trying to let my elbows wing out very much. I'm using my chest and back to maintain adduction at the bottom and the top. I don't want my elbows circling outwards. So there you go. There's my latest workouts. Let me know if you have any questions down below. Till then, be fit, live free.